claim is that if you do not participate in this care, your child will die, okay, by suicide. But when we look at the scientific evidence, it doesn't support that assertion.
I didn't understand that the degree of disconnect from and hatred of my body could be considered a mental health problem. Was very much told by the community that if you don't transition, you will self-harm and you will kill yourself. I became convinced that my options were transition or die.
There is absolutely no study that's been published to prove that transitioning young children prevents suicide. The best study we have with regard to transition is in adults. Within the first 10 years, it seemed like there was some relief, but by that 10th year, there was a noticeable increase in anxiety and depression and suicidal thoughts.
No studies show that affirmation of children or adolescents reduces completed suicide rates, prevents suicidal ideation, or improves long-term outcomes as compared to either watchful waiting or a psychotherapeutic model of approach to these children.
There's always this threat of self-harm. And this, in large part, is rehearsed speech in the child. Children are taught, and they teach each other, to threaten self-harm to get the drugs, to get the transition going.
When these kids go to the internet, one of the things that they're instructed to say is, be sure you tell your pediatrician or your psychologist that you want to kill yourself, because that's how you get your drugs.
An undercover investigation by Culture Guard recorded child psychologist Dr. Wallace Wong.
Hi, my name is Dr. Wallace Wong.
Encouraging gender dysphoric children to threaten suicide in order to get experimental interventions such as cross-sex hormones and surgeries.
To be sick enough, then we will give you what you need. So what you need is, pull a stump. Suicide every time, then we'll give you what you need.
The experts tell parents that it is harmful to question their children's beliefs, that they must support their children's medical transition, which includes a lifetime dependence on hormones, and that if parents do not comply, their children will be at higher risk of suicide. These parents are being lied to.
I think is very important for parents to know. Little kids can present with extreme gender dysphoria, but that doesn't mean they're all gonna grow up to continue to have gender dysphoria.
The numbers, the percentages vary from one study to the next. In some studies, the desistance rate was as high as 100%.
The assumption from the outset was that if I said I was transgender, then I must be. Nobody at any point questioned my motives. The only cure for this would be hormones and surgery.
If the brain and the body are in conflict, we work on the brain, we don't work on the body. We have to agree that there is some fundamental reality that we exist and operate in, and that we can identify that reality with our senses and measurements, and agree upon that reality, that XX and XY cells are different, and they respond differently to hormones. And so once we agree upon that reality, if someone is at odds with that reality, we need to help them back to reality, not keep them away from reality.
Nobody wants to be the one person that puts their head up and says, hang on, I don't think this is all right.